Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I know that we are aware that Nigeria isn't really safe anymore. It's been some time coming, but increasingly you have security challenges. And the School of Colorado Mines in their magazine said that you don't need to know all the alphabets of safety. You only need to know A, B, C, and to follow it. Always be careful. We live in a world today where living and being streetwise and street smart is not paranoia, it is preparation. Security consciousness is not about locks and alarms. Wow, 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 wow. No, it's beyond that. It's about the choices we make, the habits we have, and the decisions we make. So this evening, I want to share with you 3 simple but very practicable steps that I've learned living in the streets of Lagos. Yes, in the rowdy streets of Lagos. And I believe that these 3 steps will help us stay and remain security conscious. Step 1 is to stay alert and use your eyes and your sense organs as your shield. Stay alert, use your eyes and your sense organs as your shield. And I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine left a party very late. He had his He had his earbuds plugged in, the music blasting, and he was scrolling through his phone, trying to select the next banger. Unaware, there was someone who was creeping behind him, about to seize the phone he was with. But thankfully, before the thief could succeed, he had, "Hey!" And he was like, "Oh wow." That shift saved the day. And that lesson, that story taught himself and me a few lessons. Whenever you are anywhere, it is important to stay alert and use all your sense organs. You need to scan the environment. If you're driving, who's in front of you, who's beside you, who's behind you. There's a reason for those side mirrors that some of us don't use, including me sometimes. But increasingly, I am learning that those things are not fashion items. 2, whenever you are anywhere in any environment, do you notice unusual behaviors? Do you notice the exits? Are you aware of where you are, where you live? Are you aware of the exit points? Are you aware of who your neighbors are? What time they come in? Awareness is like headlights in a dark alley. Without it, you may not notice the danger. But with it, you'll see the danger before it sees you. Step 2. Guard your information. In February 2025, a cybersecurity firm, Tessia, they produced a research, or commissioned a research, I should say, and found that 4 out of 5 users of the social media platforms overshare information. I'll tell you another story. A friend of mine was traveling to Dubai, and it was all on a WhatsApp status. Dubai for 2 weeks. And then at other times you'd have seen home alone in this house, no one around, and all those other information. Harmless at that point. But unfortunately for her, when she was then away for 2 weeks, guess what happened?
You came to visit us.
Yes, some visitors came and the house was boggled. Apparently, some people who were in our space had been watching our social media feeds. In a world of oversharing, you have to guard your information that you've got in your wallet. Again, you know what the first things they teach you when you're working with any security outfit is to get information out of people. It's either you toast the information out of them or you use other substances to get it out. But they understand that information is priceless. And if you want to stay safe, you need to guard your information, ladies and gentlemen. Step 3. Plan your movements, but don't be predictable. You know, hackers say that predictability means hackability. As long as you're predictable, you're hackable. I'll tell you another story. There's this gentleman who lives in our neighborhood and takes the same route to home after closing from his business. Unfortunately for him, one day he was mobbed, and apparently someone who knew his movements knew where he was going to be at certain times of the evening. Now, I know that sometimes you hear you need to be a creator or a creature, I beg your pardon, of habits. You need to have routines, but sometimes it's very good. Mix it up a bit. Don't be too predictable. Don't use the same routes home every other day. Someone might be watching you. For our ladies, a toaster would know that this is the route you walk and might come and assail you. For guys, yes, a Toastmaster, maybe not. But for guys, you have other assailants. You have to plan your movements, but don't be predictable. If you play chess, you know that you need to plan your moves, otherwise you'll be cornered. So in conclusion, 3 seemingly simple steps, but I believe very practical. Stay alert, let your sense organs be your shield. 2, guard your information. Your personal information is as valuable to you as your money. Number 3, plan your movements, but don't be predictable. In the words of Kena Rip, you are the last line of defense of your own security. Toastmaster.